Welcome to Demoted.
Demoted.
I do want to thank our sponsors.
Yes, to our sponsors. Thank you guys so much for believing in the mission.
Being our sponsors, sponsoring us, and just doing what a good sponsor should.
Which is sponsor us.
Right? So thank you.
Thank you guys.
To all these sponsors. Moving on, why are we in these really slimming Suckle sweatshirts, you might ask?
Mine's covered in dog hair, which I like.
Suckle is the name of the company that Ross invented for his show called Sales Are Dope.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank the tens of people who watched it. It means a lot that you guys would venture over to YouTube and spend roughly 90 minutes of your life just enjoying something original and great, as well as the sponsors who made that possible.
Thank you to the sponsors. One of the best things about the show was the branding and how you basically built this world of the Suckle startup. Today we're talking about startups also.
Yeah, we're talking about startups. We're talking about startups versus like corporate, pros, cons.
What that means.
Blah, 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 blah.
He's going to do a little Corpsplain. But before we get into all the nitty gritty, you know, Suckle was so fun being a part of. One, it was fake, but two, there were signs. What did the signs around the office say in the show?
Your data sucks. Make it suckle.
Yeah. What was the water fountain one of the little boy? There's a little boy like drinking from a water fountain.
Yeah. What did that one say? It was suckle data, spit out insights.
Yes. Yes. Like so funny. And I think like the takeaway is like, you're seeing this signage and you're like, it's not far off from what exists in real life.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious that the name is Suckle.
The Suckle is just, I remember thinking of the name Suckle and I laughed for like 45 minutes. And I think it was because I was on about 15 milligrams of THC, but
that might have helped. Yeah.
It definitely helped. And I was like, this is the one. This is the one, Suckle.
I couldn't have had it any other way. It was so funny.
Yeah.
And we just like say Suckle like in conversation randomly and like it's
so
always
serious.
Funny.
So serious
Always
too.
funny.
Complete deadpan. Just like, this is what it is.
Completely.
So
Suckle's going to IPO.
We've all worked at, well, we haven't all worked, but many folks in this area, in our world, work at the Suckles of the Bay.
The Suckles of the Bay.
Which are interesting, and they have their own unique personalities and cultures and so forth. So we're going to talk a little bit about that life. What would you rather do? I mean, I have some friends who worked at startups immediately out of school, and I have a lot of friends who also just went straight to big old corpos, which is what I did.
Myself included.
Yeah, I mean, Deloitte.
Really small startup known as Deloitte.
How many people work at Deloitte?
I think like 400,000.
Holy shit.
Globally.
Yeah, that's not a startup.
Should we do like what's good? Like, what have you been up to? We've kind of both been doing our own stuff. What I miss you. Tell me everything.
Yeah, I joined a soccer league. I mean, you know, I'm kind of a sporty spice.
So midlife crisis vibes. It's crazy, but I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up playing a lot of soccer. It was like my whole life, and then I got kind of burned out because, you know, how soccer coaches be. But I lead the team in goals. We're like 3-1-1, and then of course I blew out my calf last night. So
he's limping into the set today. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you?
They made us play a double header, which is absolutely outrageous. I'm almost 35. I'll be 35.
What's the median age?
I think people are mostly like 26.
Okay, so you're a little bit above.
I'm a little bit above
the bell curve.
Yeah, I look older than most of them, which isn't ideal, but then I roast them, so it's fine.
And you're like, I'm going to play the doubleheader straight up as if I have the body of a 26-year-old.
I did not take myself out of the game in the second one.
No.
Until I ran and I heard a pop and I just fell.
Collapse.
Yeah.
Collapse. Because there with a sign.
It was one of those moments where I was like, it's very matter of fact for me. I was like, I'm on the ground. I'm like, boys, I'm done. I'm done. Yep, my season's over.
Stretcher. Get the stretcher.
Yeah, I was like, I can't walk.
Yep.
FYI, I can't walk. They're like, you're not acting like this hurts. And I'm like, no, this hurts. This hurts a lot.
Too embarrassed to cry.
Yep.
Too embarrassed to cry.
The only game Becca has come to.
Perfect.
She's like, I don't want you playing that because you're just going to get hurt. And I'm like, bitch.
I'm not going to get hurt.
Come on. I'm a physical spec.
She's lifting up your 180-pound body.
Well, yeah.
With her bare hands.
It was like the only thing I could think of when I went down was like, oh God, Becca's here. She's gonna be mad. She's gonna be mad. Like it wasn't even like I let my team down. Oh, this is gonna hurt for 6 weeks. It was like, oh, she's gonna be mad.
I was wrong. It wasn't even. It was. I was wrong.
Yeah.
And you can't stomach that.
And I blew it. What's up with you? What's good?
I have been recording a bit of a show actually. So traveling back and forth from LA. I can't say too much on it.
Higher budget, lower budget than S.A.D.
I'm gonna say a little higher.
Okay.
But not sure. Okay. You ran one thing about S.A.D is you ran a very clean operation. It was really cool to see you like pull all those pieces together.
We had to. We had no choice.
So many variables. Yeah, very well run ship. But it's been fun. one thing I realize is I'm a huge sweater.
Same.
So
I'm sweating right now.
The wardrobe department literally has sweating pads for me that in every outfit I have a customized sweat pad. As a woman, it's like a little bit kind of sad to hear.
They just like stick under your armpit and just like kind of.
Yep, they stick to the clothes. It's right under the armpit.
Oh, they stick to the clothes.
And then you you soil it, and then they switch them out for a new one.
It's like brown at the end of the day.
Completely. You're like, what is that? Ooh. Sludge?
Yeah. So what can you tell? Are you like you're playing a character? You're cast as a character.
I'm cast as a character. Okay. I'll tell more about it later when I get some written approval.
Yeah, it's called an NDA, folks. You're not really supposed to talk about it. It's called an NDA. So you can't talk about it,
but there might be a wig involved. I'll give that. I'll give that.
Great. So you're playing a character. You're not playing yourself. You're playing a character.
Playing character.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Character is well within my range, which is.
Have they mentioned like a rough release date? I mean, obviously it's got to get filmed first. But.
I think October timeframe, but
okay.
Don't
You never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Things change. Things change. But it's been fun. So that's what's good with me. I guess let's hit the music.
Yeah.
Demoted.
Okay, so that music was so good.
Oh my God, I'm fired up.
I love that music.
I feel like I'm at a rave.
I love that music. It's
I want to be on someone's shoulders, just like headbanging.
Meets hip hop.
Totally.
Meets something completely new you've never heard before.
I just like there's so much opinion about the intro music that exists in the ether.
Yeah.
You either love it or you hate it.
I remember the first time we both heard it, we were like, this is the one. It's done. It's done. We were having like our own crisis about the music. Like, what do we want?
And then Ross, in true sales form, like really sold me on it. You called me on Saturday morning. We were supposed to release quite soon after. Yeah. You're like, Natalie, this is what we need.
It is.
And I looked at you, I'm like, honestly, you're right. I couldn't see it any other way.
You know, it was, again, I don't know why 15 milligrams of THC keeps showing up in my life.
I don't know why.
But it was weird. The night before I sent you a video of me in like this blue light.
Like headbanging. So
tequila.
Demoted.
I mean, Demoted.
If you didn't know, that would be Ross's voice. Yeah.
That is my voice. That is my voice.
So let's talk about startups, shall we?
What do they even mean? What
does company size matter?
It depends on how you use it.
Absolutely.
The company, I mean.
That's what I'd say.
The size of the company.
We introduced a segment and then we never brought it back, but we're going to bring it back today. Maybe a little Corpsplain, where Ross kind of Corpsplains to me.
Thank you.
Kind of what startups are, I guess. And we'll go through I'm always hearing, pre-seed, Series A, Series B, Series C. Can you give me like a quick and dirty on what the hell all of this means?
Yeah, I mean, there's even something stupid called a mango seed.
No, there's not.
Yeah, there is. It's like just a big seed. I don't know.
Just a giant seed.
Just a girthy seed.
Just a big girthy seed, which we love.
Yeah, we love
Which brings us to our sponsor.
Which brings us to our sponsors.
Mango Seed.
Mango Seeds. Thank you to them. Okay, so we've all heard of like angel and seed, and then we've got A, B, and C. I mean, these are all effectively stages of companies. The first money in is usually angel. It'll be like friends and family, and then maybe you'll get like a couple former coworkers or people with money in this who like believe in you and blah, blah, blah. That's usually the first check.
Yeah.
Could be small, like total of 100K.
Which when I was on the dating app called Raya, made for celebrities.
Yeah.
And then
I'm still on that wait list.
And then except in Silicon Valley, it's actually angel investor for Google, angel investor for Uber. That's basically a Silicon Valley celebrity.
That's, which is so cringe. It's basically like, I picked a few correctly and I'm very rich.
Very rich, just so you know.
Yeah.
Which like, hey.
I have a huge schlong.
Flex it.
Yeah.
Flex it.
That's basically what it's saying.
Yeah.
It's super cringe. People put angel investor on there. It's like, dude.
Please.
You have money. Like, great,
got it.
Great.
We get it.
Get it. Yeah. So like Series A is typically the one that comes after seed. It's like the first real institutional money that comes in. We're talking like $5 to $15 million. You'll grow a company into like 50 to 75 people. You start to become legit, and it's not really like the core founding group anymore. You're answering to shareholders isn't the right word, but you're investor overlords.
Got it.
Usually they'll get like a board seat or something, and then so decisions start getting made kind of at we'll call it a higher level. B is right after that. We're about to run out of money. You're talking like, I guess it ranges. So what did it say? So 35 million was the median in 2022 and like 50 million was the average. And that's a lot, right? That's a lot of money. You grow to roughly 100 employees, so on and so forth. You're ideally coming upon product market fit if you don't have it already. And that's when you kind of have to put on your grown-up pants.
Got it.
And become a little bit more standard and build processes. It's not like everybody wears a bunch of different hats. you kind of start to hire people who are leaders in different segments.
Got it. Sorry, I disassociated for a bit there.
Yeah.
Could you tell me about Series C?
Oh, yeah, I can. Yeah, I mean, Series C companies are pretty much, they're successful at that point. And a lot of times it's like, hey, we've got our core product down. Let's try to build this big business even bigger and come up with new product ideas.
And there's like C, D, E. You can go as long as you want.
And as hard as you want, as long as you last.
As long and as hard.
As long as hard as you can. Again, as long as you last.
And then there are just like big private companies like Chick-fil-A, SpaceX.
Yeah, they don't necessarily want
to IPO.
Yeah, they can keep their finances to themselves. They can, we're so jaded by the Silicon Valley where it's like, oh, we all got to IPO. Oh, we got to make billion-dollar businesses.
Totally.
Like, I would be happy to be CEO of like, a $20 million business. And if I'm making,
you would be happy to do that?
Whatever.
You'd be totally fine doing that?
I'd be totally fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's whatever. But then like the exits are kind of two different things. So you've got your IPO, which everyone knows, like you go on the New York Stock Exchange, you ring the bell at the NASDAQ.
You ring the bell.
And the other one, a lot of times, is the acquisition route. And you can be acquired by a big company. Google scoops you up. You're like, oh, this is cool. I work at Google now.
Totally.
Or you get bought by a private equity company, which is like, fuck, we're getting fucked. This is fucked.
I'm out of here.
So private equity is usually a death knell for most folks. They'll keep the leaders on for a brief period of time before they transition them out. Like private equity, they come and they see a business. It's like, it's one of those businesses they know, maybe it did IPO, but oftentimes it's like, they're making a lot of money, but they're never going to get that much bigger. We're going to come in there and we're going to assess every little line item, trim all the fat, fire a bunch of people, and just add it to our portfolio.
Ruthless.
It's generating $100 million a year. Let's make it $145 million by cutting a bunch of people, like really focus things
Roll
out.
up of sorts.
You get acquired by a private equity company and you are not like the top. It's time to start looking for a new job because more likely than not, A, the upside's already gone.
Yeah.
But B, like you're probably going to be part of the chopping block.
We hear private equity thrown around so much. It's like, oh, he works in private equity. Like he must be doing well. It's like so interesting. Like,
well, yeah, the overlords are doing well.
The overlords are doing amazing.
Yeah, they're
the
savages.
overlords are doing amazing.
They're absolute savages.
Yeah.
So,
oh my God.
There's a lot of ways out, and private equity is probably my least favorite.
It's one of them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that quick and dirty on the alphabet. Series ABC.
Yeah, there's a lot more nuance to that, but I'm going to spare you guys because that's really boring.
I'd prefer to be spared. Thanks.
Yes. What if we built a startup? What would our startup be?
Oh my God.
Let's not, who cares about the product?
No, it's not about the product. It's not about the product.
About the culture.
Probably a heavy drinking culture.
Heavy drinking culture.
I'd want like a fleet of young people, just like mayhem.
We would be so ageist. We'd be incredibly
No one
ageist.
knows what they're doing. We're all just like
cover letters should
people.
just strictly be headshots.
That's all we want. Just a big blowout.
Yep. Which sports did you play? Because we obviously want the athletic, like camaraderie.
We want to do like a ton of team bonding events.
Yes. Like a total locker room vibe.
Total locker room.
Yeah.
This is horrible. Yeah, our startup would be fun.
We play two truths and a lie so much.
The icebreakers would be so offensive in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like, would you rather bang this one of your coworkers or this
Jennifer
one?
in HR.
Or Cassandra.
Right.
Yeah, in IT.
Right.
And that's a
Jeff
toss-up.
in facilities.
And that's it.
And Jeff's like a super good looking dude.
Jeff's hot.
Jeff's hot.
Jeff's hot as hell.
So
let's just call a spade a spade.
We would make sure Jeff was there to watch.
Totally.
God, we'd make a good culture.
We would.
Such culture
we
people.
definitely wouldn't allow for dressing like this, like the typical like tennis shoes and
black tie.
And sweatshirt. Yeah, it's black tie formal.
Every day.
Come with your gloves and a gown.
People would love to work for us, I feel like.
I actually went to the Elton John Oscars after party. We didn't talk about that.
What?
That was fun. Yeah. Did you see my post? I was in like these
EJ
gloves. Yeah.
No, I've been really off my social media game.
You have?
Yeah.
I mean, I looked kind of gorgeous. I was bummed you didn't say anything to me.
Well, let me go. I'll go.
Could you throw me a like?
I'm probably going to get it blown up into a big poster.
That's what I was hoping that all my followers would do.
Yeah, I've been in social media recently, just like, we don't have to talk about the TikTok ban or anything, but I've just been staying off of it for a little bit recently.
I think that's a good cleanse. I'm actually heading to Asia and I'm planning to put my phone away for 2 days, which like, I know sounds so like, I know that sounds like that's nothing, like 2 days, really, bitch?
Yeah.
That's a lot for me and I'm going to try to do it.
You're addicted to the tiki-taki.
I'm so addicted.
You love a good scroll.
I love a good scroll. I'm like, give me my screen time every day. After a long day, what I want, a little huddled up screen time. Yeah. I do.
I like going through it because I'm like, more beautiful than me, more talented than me, way more funny than me.
You so compare. Like I'm such a like an active, just like I love a good bit I love humor.
No, I do love it. The reason I go through it is because I'm like, oh, that's a really good idea. I'm like, how can that inspire me to do something great?
But I have friends like who are creators who like are constantly comparing, and they're like, it's toxic for me because I'm like, I know I'll never be as hot as this girl. Like, it's fun to watch her.
Yeah, but then I do pro lawn, and I'm like, maybe.
Well, you're so toxic.
No, it's less of the comparison for me. It's more of just like, I don't know. I feel bad after I go on there. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
I feel like I'm wasting time.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing. But I love the content I'm watching.
Yeah.
Like so pro
That
scroll.
Algorithm just pulls some random shit out of nowhere. I'm like, I didn't know I needed this.
No. TikTok shop?
Yeah.
Why'd I order this stinky little protein bar from China?
Yeah. I don't know.
30 grams? Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a try.
You get the tracking info and it's just like some company and just in Mandarin characters. I'm like,
no, it comes in like a tiny DHL box. I'm like, let's crack it open.
Yeah, this is probably fine.
Let's eat, boys. Let's ask each other a couple of quick hitting questions.
Ooh.
While at Oracle, did you feel like the deals you were closing had any impact on the larger company goals? And was that important to you at all at the time?
No and no.
Perfect.
No and no.
Moving on.
I closed $1 million there. They're like, yeah, any jabroni with a pulse would have closed that. You know, like, I mean, that's the thing.
Not being acknowledged for anything. It's so tough. Like, sales is so brutal.
It's brutal. It's brutal, but like the thing about a big company, especially in sales, and the reason salespeople get called coin operated is oftentimes if you have a pulse and you are in that role in that territory, you will perform pretty close to the other person who was there before you. That is the unfortunate truth. Like at a startup, you can have a lot more impact. You can be like the best salesperson, and the CEO is like, any big lead, you go to this person because I know this person closes. Because
there's only like so much buying power in a territory and so many like people who need this product, like just at a baseline level. Is that why?
Yeah, I mean, no territory in sales is the same. Like I think we talked about this briefly. It's like you have New York. There's a lot of tech companies who are forward thinkers that are spending money on new technology. And then you go to the Midwest and you've got like the agriculture companies. They're like, yeah, well, you know, we're looking at this.
Not sure if we need this product at this time, but thank you.
Yeah, we got a spreadsheet for that actually. So
we're good. We don't need no CRM.
Yeah, exactly. And like that's just a lot harder. So someone else who steps into New York and you've got a bunch of clients you're already managing that already use your product, you're gonna probably renew them. It's not as hard as working at a company with no logo, not like people here. So the company I was at called Sosta.
Okay.
What the fuck is a Sosta?
Classic, almost Suckle, basically.
Yeah, SOASTA. It was an acronym. Created service-oriented architecture.
Enough.
Something testing.
That's enough.
Anyway, that's the point. Every phone call started the same. Hey, this is Ross. I'm calling from Sosta. What? Sosta.
What the hell?
Toaster? No. Sosta. Sorry, that's what happens when you let engineers name your company. And then they'd hang up pretty quickly after that. But that was the thing. You know, you call from Salesforce or Oracle, everyone's like, oh, yeah, okay, what? Like, I know who you are. And there's something to be said for selling for a company that knows who brand recognition.
Yeah.
You know?
Quick aside, there was a character, like a scene on Sales Are Dope, if you haven't watched it, where Ross is trying to sell to a snake milker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, snake milker.
And he's like, yeah, the snake milking business, I actually had a snake bite my wife. She was in the hospital. And he's like going off on this whole thing. And Ross like, okay, buddy, let's get back to the product here.
Can we talk about the real problem here? Yeah. About how you're losing $10,000? And Raj is like, hey.
Let's listen to him.
Yeah, his wife got bit by a snake. And I'm like, Raj, you're killing my deal.
It was funny. Anyway. It was a really good bit.
Go watch it.
Go watch it if you haven't.
Dummies.
Okay, would you like to ask me about that?
Yeah, I think I have a couple questions that I scribbled down here. Okay, so you run a small little startup of sorts. Like, do you ever feel overwhelmed by all the things that you have to do? I mean, you mentioned that like in your internship, but like ultimately you're an intern, so if you failed,
no one cares. I was unpaid also. Like, okay.
Get what you pay for.
Free labor.
Nothing, yeah.
Yeah, bye.
Oh, those are the best.
I'm just going to drink all the Celsius. And
we should talk about how we support unpaid internships, right?
No, please.
Okay.
Please. It's interesting, the two companies that I own right now, and I think we should talk about the podcast too separately as kind of our own little startup here.
That's like a perfect lesson in losing money quickly.
Perfect lesson. But like when it's tied so strongly to my brand and like my actual face as like Corp Natalie, and like my virtual assistant company is very tied to kind of my status in the influencer space, my personal network, whatever that might be. I think it is important that I'm super involved in every aspect of it.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's like a direct comparison to like someone starting obviously like a new software or just something that's a product that you're building that's not tied to your name and likeness.
Right. So much of like the company is the brand versus like the product itself.
Yeah. Like for us, it's like the brand is tied to even Corp Capital. It's like that is your name, you know, as a part of it.
Yeah.
So I'm fine wearing many hats. I think with the podcast, it's an interesting like it's been an interesting use case for us as, we won't say co-founders because that's a joke, but like as a very small team kind of building this from the ground up. And like, I don't know, it's been a grind. We're obviously still pouring thousands of dollars into it.
So much money into this, but thankfully our sponsors are here to save us.
They're flying in, just the heroes we didn't know we needed.
Yeah.
We didn't, sponsors.
Yeah. Which again, shout out to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
God, they're doing so well.
So I find it fulfilling wearing many hats.
Yeah. I think it's just funny. Our employees here at Demoted Productions, LLC, like, they don't realize they're not getting 401k matching.
They're not. Actually, the benefits here are not that great.
They're terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah.
But
we actually have the opposite of sick days, where if you are sick, you are required to come in.
you better get your ass in here.
Yeah.
Walking pneumonia, never heard of her.
Give me a hug.
Give me a hug, baby.
We share it here.
Tape up the Post-its.
Yeah.
We're getting rolling.
I feel like we should drop the like kissing policy.
We should drop that. Well, it's our startup.
We don't do handshakes. We just do little pecks.
Pecks on the lips.
Yeah.
Lips, forehead, cheek. We do 4 kisses. It's our cultural thing.
It's very Italian of us.
Yeah, it's so Italian.
But we're always just right on the lips. But your eyes do have to be open. That is like a very serious company rule.
Open eyes.
Open eyes, kiss.
Closed mouth usually. Depends on the time of day.
We look like chickens feeding.
Scared. Really
each
scary.
other's faces.
Really scary.
Really scary. Culture's never been stronger though.
What's the best company perk you've had?
Well, I do like my 401k matching. That is pretty fire. I mean, that's just more money in the.
It's so boring.
It's so boring. It's so boring. I mean, I would say unlimited PTO, but I do think like I never really took it. It was just nice in theory.
Yeah.
It was more
Flex
like, oh, I'm
time off.
sick. I can actually be home.
Palo Alto Networks had a really cool like flex benefits program. It was how they kind of branded this whole like flex work from home, unlimited PTO. They had flex benefits where like you got a wellness stipend. There was a whole like flex benefits like marketplace that you could buy the walking pad with your flex money, and that was very cool. Sorry, Annie, we don't offer that yet at Corp and Natalie LLC, but or Demoted or Demoted Productions LLC.
None of the companies we run are particularly beneficial.
But that was hard to let go when I decided to go full time.
Yeah, I mean, people don't realize how expensive benefits are.
Yeah.
It's like 10 to 15K a year.
And I think people in tech expect like the wellness subsidy, like all these things that come with.
Yeah. Like spoiled brats.
Anything you want at your desk, we'll buy for you. You want a 62-inch monitor?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Put it on the company.
I remember at Oracle, whenever anybody would leave the company, you know, be like, oh no, like bye. And then the ants would just descend on their cubicle and just pick apart everything that they had and just.
What do you mean?
Yeah, we would take like, someone had like a sick monitor. You're like, I want that fucking monitor.
That's mine.
I'm taking that.
Yeah.
People would be just like, all right, I get the monitor. You get the like standing desk. Like
you're breaking the keyboard in half. Oh, no, totally. No, that's cool.
Oh, our sponsor's here.
Oh, our sponsor's here. Hi.
There's our sponsor. Bye, sponsor.
Bye, sponsor.
Cute little sponsor.
Sorry, Annie's dog just walked on screen.
Shh, that's a sponsor.
Okay, let's get into our segment, Promoted or Demoted.
Yep.
Where our producer takes a 15 milligram edible, as Ross is so familiar with, and writes down literally anything that comes into his mind.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. Promoted or Demoted garage startups. I've never been a part of one. I think with our lack of tech background, we never will be. Because unless you're coding in the garage on some big hard drive, you're not doing
I was
that.
part of a 3-person startup, so that was basically it. But we had like kind of like a co-working space.
Was this your entrepreneurship company at Occidental?
No, that was a 2-person company.
Club.
It was a club. It was more of a club. No, this was a VR company, like training, mental training company. So we actually like
put on the goggles, all porn.
All porn.
Yeah.
It trained you to not get boners.
Totally.
It was sick.
It's just sedating.
It helped reduce the risk of like porn addiction.
Yeah.
By showing them so much
early
porn.
ejaculation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good. We had a lot of different scenes. I actually had to be the tester.
You were actually the scene writer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Writer, director, actor, and then also tester. So
you're watching yourself
yeah, I'm watching
in it.
myself.
Solo male.
VR's come a long way.
Okay. So garage startups, you've sort of been a part of one?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to promote it, I guess. If that's what you got to do and do it in a startup, then you got to do it in a garage, fine. You could like do it in the kitchen or living room if you wanted.
There's more comfortable settings.
Yeah.
We got a lot of friends in commercial real estate. You could get a small
Yeah, I mean, nowadays
office.
in San Francisco, you could just...
Ton of office space going around.
Find a little something for yourself.
Right.
Okay, promoted, demoted. Wearing company swag outside of a work environment.
I'm going to have to demote it. It sort of screams get a life. Is that a horrible thing to say?
Yeah.
I also think
it's tough.
company t-shirts are just so cringe. Anyone who keeps a company t-shirt,
yep.
Throw that away. This is a style tip.
They're all Bella Canvas, unisex, extra larges.
Unisex. When I was going through my closet, my mom's like, do we still need this? I'm like, why did I keep that?
Well, I guess if you're wearing it to work is like fine, you know?
The weirdest part of Deloitte is like, it's business professional. So of course you can't wear a t-shirt. And then I have 8 Deloitte t-shirts with a big green dot on it. And I'm like, what am I keeping this for?
I still have some Glassdoor t-shirts lying around.
Well, you're a t-shirt guy.
I cut the sleeves off.
I go to the gym, go to the YMCA.
Yeah, I don't rep companies that I'm not at. Anyway, even still, I mean, remember your HR letter that you wrote to me? It's like while you're doing some dumb shit while you're still in your company. So like, you then become a risk.
Total risk. I'm risky enough. I'm walking risk.
Yeah.
I can't be in the company t-shirt.
Exactly.
Promoted or demoted using emojis in emails?
I'm demoted because I'm a boomer.
I think so too.
I think
it's a clear giveaway of your age. It's like, just in case you didn't respect me already, now you definitely won't.
Yeah. I mean, we did some really cringe shit in sales. We would like, when someone ghosted us, we'd take a picture of, you know that like missing kids ads on milk cartons.
Stop.
And we'd put their LinkedIn photo on it and be like, where are you at? Have you gone missing?
You would email them with that?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Just trying to re-engage.
Shut up. That's
and people
funny.
would be like, thank you for your email. This is horribly offensive. There are actually missing children out there. And I'm like, yeah, and I thought you were one of them.
I was just trying to get I'm sorry. I thought I thought you were missing.
Okay, so you're alive.
Okay, thank God.
I just want to be sure.
Do you have 30 minutes that I could grab?
By the way, is your calendar open? Yeah. So we would do that.
So emojis and missing children mock-ups promoted.
I think in a desperate situation in sales and you're trying to get somebody's attention, do something different, it works. But I think emojis in like your first email, not for me. I wouldn't do it.
Not for me.
Not for me.
Just checking in. Demoted.
Promoted, demoted. Completely relevant. The blockchain.
Talon.
I mean, crypto is pumping right now. I mean, your boy is just, I'm about to quit.
I can't.
I'm about to quit.
I know nothing about it. I have to demote things that I don't. I literally I've watched YouTube videos on this. Like I don't care enough. My brain shuts down.
Yeah.
My brain shuts down.
It's reasonable.
I'm done.
It's kind of dumb.
Take me out, coach. Take me out.
Well, see, it's not really cryptocurrency that's changing companies. It's actually just like blockchain technology.
Okay.
So
please.
You're going to demote it?
I'm going to demote it.
You're going to demote it.
After that pitch though, maybe not, but I'm going to demote it.
You know what that just reminded me of? Someone commented on our most recent post, because we were talking about D-gang.
Oh, the Demoted gang.
Demoted gang.
Obviously.
Someone was like, you should call them motors, like demoters. And then it's like, you call them motorheads. And then it sounds a little too like vehicular.
So vehicular.
So, but that just like made me think of just like.
Motors is like.
Shout out to the motors.
Shout out to the motors. I'm picturing like bareback on a motorcycle. Okay. Bareback. Good.
Anyway.
Promoted or demoted, rest and vest, parentheses, hired by big tech company to do nothing or cool off period before leaving company. What does that mean?
So rest and vest, well, I guess there's two pieces of this. So there's like a lot of folks, and this was like kind of around the whole tech, like tech's bloated. There's a bunch of people hired and doing fucking nothing.
Okay.
Which is true. There are a lot of people like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
And you're getting your shares. So that's fun to a point. And then you're like, I have no purpose. I'm going into work. I'm literally just passing time every single day until I leave. And you're vesting your shares just because you haven't quit.
Got it.
That's one thing. That's a choice. I mean, if you can like find a way to do other things during your day and you don't have to go in the office, I guess that's fine. Collect a paycheck and do nothing.
I love doing nothing.
Cool.
I'm for sure promoting that.
Cool. But then there's the other piece. So I have a buddy who was part of the First Republic acquisition. And so he got acquired basically by JP Morgan Chase. He's a product manager. They haven't assigned him to a single project yet. He is just actually collecting pay. He's like, yeah. I mean, like, and that's not like the bench isn't even like a thing in like banking.
No, it's not.
They just haven't like put him on a team to do anything.
Yeah.
They're like waiting for him to quit.
That's
and he's
crazy.
like, I guess I'll just keep a paycheck and like get good at golf.
Completely.
Sure.
No one's calling me.
Yeah. Why not? Like 2 meetings a week max.
I think if you're at that phase in your life, like I think that the downside with that is if you're really early in your career and you're doing that, it's like you will get cut, like you will get
for sure
found out. But if you're in this weird position where like you have a lot of experience, you know, you can kind of just write it out. I'm promoting it.
Yeah, I would promote it until you're like so miserable without a purpose that you just got to go somewhere else. That's like what they're doing. They're trying to bleed you out because if they fire you,
bleed you of your purpose. Yeah.
Well, if they fire you, they have to pay you a bunch of severance. Yeah. And they're just like, well, if we just make it miserable, they'll find their merry way out of here. I'm
like, try me. I'm doing a sit-in. Yeah.
This is like a staring competition. You think I'm going to blink? I ain't blinking.
I'm going to retire here.
Yeah. Sure.
I'm going to live a great life.
I guess 10 years of doing
I'm
nothing.
65. They're like, she's still here. Yeah.
I thought well, I don't know.
No.
All right, promoted, demoted company cars, which we have so much experience with.
What do you mean?
I think like startups, I'm like, everybody gets a company car.
Did you have a company car?
No, never.
I one time rented a car for Deloitte because I was staffed in the middle of nowhere, and they were like, you might need a car to get like, I don't know, from the airport to
Middle of Missouri.
Yeah. And I was joking with my friends like, God, they really hooked me up with this whip. It's like a shitty,
it's like a Chevy Volt.
Chevy Volt, like the worst car ever. It's like lime green. Yeah. I'm like chilling in my company car.
Yeah, hop in.
Yeah,
I give you a lift.
Looking for a ride.
Yeah.
So it's never alluring or cool.
Yeah.
It's such like a necessity. There's no such thing as what would have been better, Talon, no offense, is the buses that ship people from the city to like the Apple and Google campuses.
Google Bus.
Those when I first heard of, I was like, that is the sickest thing ever.
Yeah.
You're on a party bus on your way to work.
Right.
Are you freaking kidding
with internet,
me?
So
with
you can,
internet?
Like, kind of work and stuff and tolerate that hour-long commute.
Completely. I always thought that was cool, but I think those like have gotten way less alluring and people kind of hate them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, time people have to leave their home now, everyone's like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Totally.
So, I don't know.
Company cars.
Oh, this next one's fun.
Promoted.
Demoted.
This one makes a lot of sense. Promoted or demoted, blood boys.
Oh, promote.
Personal blood donors for transfusions.
Yeah, I just, like, my body makes a lot of blood, but it helps to have a little extra. You know, like when you're trying to be like...
What the hell is this?
Imagine this. Like, you could perform a little bit better with somebody else's blood in your body. Like a younger version of yourself.
I'm done.
I'm actually O negative, so I'm like the universal donor. Like everybody's coming from my blood.
Just
that's why I'm not an organ
dry.
donor, because if I'm in a car accident, they're gonna come up to me like, "Oh, we could like save 10 lives if we just let them go."
You're not an organ donor?
No, I am, but that's what I tell people I'm not, because they're gonna harvest my blood. I would be such a good blood boy.
You are
if not for the 15 milligrams of THC in my blood at all times. Otherwise,
yeah, okay, Shrimp Man. No one wants your blood. Please.
Archaeologists, his blood, they're gonna find me and be like, "Was he a god? No. Was he a god of his people?
He must have been a god.
To be shaped like this with this kind of blood?
This Shrimp Man with this blood? Oh my God. We need to milk him for everything he's worth."
They're going to display me in a case, just hunched over, looking like an absolute crab.
You look like Lucy, the first hominid, or whatever the hell that thing was. Introducing Homo erectus. Okay.
It's me.
Promoted or demoted, special check-in desks at Seattle Airport for Amazon/Microsoft employees. Is this a real thing?
I'm guessing Talon Googled it.
Talon was so high, he just like took to Google.
I bet they have desks at the airport for Microsoft
startup stuff.
That's kind of fire.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I'll take anything
that speeds up my travel.
Airport, miserable.
Yeah.
Anything that makes it better, promoted.
That's cool. That's a perk I've never heard of.
Never heard of that.
Promote it.
Definitely promoting it.
All right. Promoted, demoted, sweat equity.
Just like
Swequity.
Swequity. Just like if you grind hard enough.
Yeah, we'll hook you up later.
We'll hook you up later.
Pour your blood. Just soul.
You know what? It's almost a Blood Boys vibe. You know what I don't do is work off of a promise.
Yeah.
I need something in writing. I'm not giving any of my time for a lot. You will have even companies now that are like, let's just work together on good faith.
Oh, I love good faith.
What do you mean good faith?
My favorite kind of faith. Yeah.
Hang on. What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yono Tango, good faith.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to need that in writing.
I'm going to need a contract that's been approved by my lawyer and yours.
Yes, dollar and a dream, but mostly the dollar.
Oh, you want me to post this without anything in writing that you're going to pay me?
Oh, you'll get me back. I didn't realize you were going to get me back.
No, let me promote your product to all my followers.
Yes.
Lose trust in them.
Right, it's a win-win.
It's a total win-win.
In terms of them and you.
Let me promote it for free.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Again, shout out to our sponsors who have been operating in true good faith.
Good faith.
Since the start of this episode.
Nothing against our sponsors, of course.
So don't forget to check them out.
Check them out.
When you have a chance.
Quick promoted or demoted. Final one. Energy Pod, parenthesis, nap chair.
Dog, I don't know.
I actually saw one of these I was like doing a shoot at a company and like, they're like, oh, that was for our old CEO. And it's
he
like
died there.
Literally, he died there. It's like a pod, like a nap pod. I'm like, really?
Really?
You're going to call this a recharge energy
Holy
station?
Shit, your CEO slept here?
Oh my God.
On that pod?
Yeah, I'll be here for a few minutes. Thank you.
Yeah. Don't mind if I
kind of rub my back again.
Still smells like her. Obviously, female CEO.
Obviously, it's female CEO.
That was me trying to be woke king for a second there, and then I realized it kind of made her sound bad, and now I'm not woke king.
Okay.
God, I just want to be woke king.
That was Promoted or Demoted. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Talon, once again, for your undoubted creativity. We love you so much.
Yeah, ChatGPT might have let you down on that one. Let's go from 3.5 to ChatGPT 4 when you get a chance.
When you get a chance, let's get
I'd
that
say
upgraded.
we pay for it, but we don't have any more money in the bank.
We don't. You pay for it, Talon. All right. Corporate confessions.
Yeah, this is a wild one.
We have been sitting on this for a while, so we want to share this with you.
Stewing on it.
I'm going to have Ross read it.
At 18, I got an internship at a large technology company. I was supposed to be on the PR team, but the CMO was obsessed with events. Think like wannabe celebrity who hoped that viral event moment would make him famous. So it was all hands on deck for any and all company events. He would make up reasons to host events. So my first month or so into the internship, my first major event assignment was to help put on a birthday party for this person. And this person is a co-founder of, I'll just give you a hint, of a company that has the largest market cap in the world. You can go look that up. Okay, you go look that up. You probably won't. That's why I'm saying it like that.
That's okay.
Anyway, my assignments, my being the intern here in this example, were to 1, hire models to walk around the party and talk to guests. I was given specific measurements, sizes, and features to look for to make sure they were hot enough.
This would
Spoiler,
not
I was one of
fly.
those people.
This would not fly nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really understand what's wrong with that. But number 2 was to purchase 500 pink feather boas.
Makes sense. Goes without saying.
It goes without saying. 3 was to hire an overweight man to pop out of a cake and sing happy birthday to the person who was throwing this party. Yes, you read that right. So I went on a search for a performer who would be willing to take on this stunt. And all of them were weirdos, needless to say.
Got it.
That also goes without saying. Should just change the title of this podcast. It goes without saying. The quote performance was truly the most cringy, awkward thing I've ever watched in my entire life. Neither the person who hosted the party nor anyone in the audience thought it was funny or really understood what the hell was going on at all. Then Cake Guy went off script to tell the person whose birthday it was that they had met before, which that person had clearly no recollection whatsoever and was put on the spot and felt really awkward when that happened. So
this came from someone in event marketing, Bay Area.
Bay Area.
Wow. There was also so much more to the story that we kind of didn't say, but
just a lot.
I can't believe things like this happened.
Yeah. So quick breakdown here. Very important person hosted a party. This person was required to hire models and they were supposed to be hot enough.
500 feather boas.
500 feather boas.
Cake guy.
Fat man jumping out of a...
Fat man cake guy.
Fat man cake guy. And it was a cringy, awkward
A lot of body objectification here.
Which,
models need to be this size and weight. Cake guy needs to be at least 4 models' weights.
Yeah, 2 bills minimum. He needs to pop out of that cake with just pure fury.
Pure fury. We want him to be questionably able to fit in the cake.
Yeah.
How big was the cake?
That's the question. I mean, this guy, I'm imagining this guy is at least 250 pounds.
That's what I pictured.
He's 5'6", 250.
Totally. Short.
Yeah, short king.
Short and stout.
Rotund.
Yep.
You know, thick boy. And he pops out. He's like, "Whoa, happy birthday!"
Totally. This feels like a Hollywood sex party.
Yeah.
Like this doesn't feel like something that happens in the Bay
With
Area.
zero sex.
Zero sex.
Absolutely zero sex.
It's giving Taco Bell sex parties, zero sex, plus a fat cake guy.
Yeah. Still has the guac bowl.
Does this stuff happen now still?
I'm going to venture to say yes.
Really?
Yeah, but
not in a public setting.
Yeah,
it's just like rich people who are untouchable.
Rich people freak shit.
That's
it happens for sure. I mean, this stuff, it's just usually better hidden, and usually you don't have the intern
kind of on call.
You hire an events manager, you
outsource it with an NDA. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is crazy to me.
This is absolutely wild to me, and it's something I truly wish I was a part of.
I wish I was too. I'm pissed we didn't get the invite. What year do you think this happened?
We should do a sketch. I don't know. Does it say the year?
No. This
is probably given the person that we're talking about. This is probably over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
At least.
It can't be recent.
No.
It's got to be BC before COVID.
Yeah, definitely BC. Definitely BC. I mean, did you ever have to do any weird intern shit? Maybe probably not on this level, but
I just think when I started work, we're in the era of we're past the Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
Interns are our bitches. There was a lot of mutual respect.
I was such a little bitch.
Were you really?
I worked for the San Francisco Giants, and I'll never forget. I had to go get Happy Meals for this entire camp, and I had to carry 200 Happy Meals from the McDonald's back to AT&T Park. Which, if you can imagine how many homeless people I had to walk by with seven bags of
so rude.
Happy Meals.
So rude.
That was a tough spot for your boy.
Walk
A, to carry,
Walk of shame.
But to walk by these guys like, get one of those. No, you can't. You can't.
Sorry.
They're paying me $8 an hour.
This could help a lot of people.
Yeah.
But no.
A lot of kids need their Happy Meals.
No, sorry about that.
That was like the weirdest shit. I guess I was at an ad agency too, and I got dressed up like a Wookiee, but you could see my face.
Stop.
Like Star Wars. I don't know. And they paraded me around, and they told me it was for a shoot, but it wasn't. So I just dressed up like a weird freak show for like an entire day. Wow.
I feel like we need to kind of more of a therapy episode maybe to
I got hazed pretty hard.
Ross's kind of corporate hazing.
Like it's for Super Bowl ad. It was not for a Super Bowl ad.
No, it was not.
I just got humiliated.
God. Okay.
Good times. Well,
this has been great. I hope you enjoyed our episode on startups. We did a little Corpsplain. We did a little Promoted or Demoted.
Yeah, we did a little, I don't know, is this a corporate confession?
I guess that's what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some weird shit.
Hope you enjoyed it. Again, thank you to our sponsors. If you haven't liked, commented, and subscribed, if you haven't sent us your corporate confession, contact@demotedpodcast.com. Yep. And if you haven't smashed that follow across all socials.
Smash that follow.
Harder than you ever smashed.
Yep.
And of course, as always, tune in next week on
Demoted.
Demoted.